I'm back. Jude JuJu, the ambassador of estrogen, back with another book review. Speaking of estrogen, The Handmaid's Tale, written by Margaret Atwood and published in 1985, centers around a woman and her functioning uterus. In a puritanical near future, our narrator is a handmaid, whose real name we never learn. A handmaid is a fertile woman deemed unsuitable for marriage. Our narrator is given the name Offred at one point to show that she is the property of a man named Fred. We learn in flashbacks that Offred was once a wife and a mother. She and her husband were attempting to leave the country with their young daughter, escaping to Canada, where women have rights. They're stopped and hunted before they can reach safety, and when the narrator wakes up, she's in a conversion camp. Her husband has probably been killed, we never learn, and her daughter has been given to a suitable family to be raised as their daughter. It opens up on the floor of a gymnasium of what used to be a school. There are cots lined up and women in them. This is the Rachel and Leah Center. Its entire philosophy is based around the Bible story of Rachel and Leah, where the wives gave their maids to their husband, Jacob, to bear children for him. In Gilead, a fictional dystopian former USA, women of good standing are allowed to marry. Most of them are arranged marriages. The rest are grouped into one of 4 social classes. If you're old, you're probably killed. No sense wasting food on the elderly. If you're a believer and enjoy crushing spirits, you can become an aunt. The aunts train the handmaids through brainwashing and cruelty. If you're healthy and built sturdy, you get to be a Martha. Marthas are house servants for the upper class. If you're sick or insubordinate, you're sent to the colonies to work until you're dead. And if you're fertile, you become a handmaid. Women have no rights in Gilead, but handmaids have even less. This world has been ravaged by war, pollution, sickness, and infertility. Handmaids are trained at the Rachel and Leah Center to become concubines for good, God-fearing people. In this patriarchal society, the women are taught to obey. If you don't obey, you're punished until you learn to obey. You no longer have a name. You don't deserve one. You're given to an infertile couple and they track your fertility, and once a month they bring you into their bedroom, pray over you, and then rape you while the wife holds you down. If you get pregnant, they take your child and send you back to the center until your body is healed enough to go to another couple and breed for them. Each time a handmaid is placed in a home, she's given the name of and then the first name of whatever man's home she's in. And when she's placed out of that home, she's stripped of that too. It's a haunting story of a woman struggling to survive, torn between keeping hope and memory alive or squashing them down inside herself to survive. No woman in Gilead has rights, and there's a corresponding uniform for every group. The wives wear blue, Marthas are gray, the aunts wear brown, and handmaids wear bright red, so that they can be seen and tracked wherever they go. The narrator remembers her life before Gilead when she used to have a job and money, and then the assassination of the president and Congress, the suspension of the Constitution, and a call to live piously to win back God's favor. And then back to the present where good women are allowed to knit and garden, but not permitted to read. You don't need to read if you have a husband. Oh, you're a neurosurgeon? Not with that vagina. Go rustle up some sandwiches. There is an underground society called Mayday that works against Gilead to get women out, but even to speak of it is against the law. If you're suspected of being part of the resistance, a black van arrives to take you away for questioning, and most are never seen again. The narrator describes her room. There's a picture on the wall but no glass in it, a window made of shatterproof glass that only opens part way. The light fixture is recessed into the ceiling and there are no mirrors. She muses that they've learned their lessons. You can't give a handmaid away to escape. And I don't mean the kind of escape you run away from. There's no glass in the picture so that she can't open her wrists with it, or hang herself from the ceiling fan with her sheet, or jump out the window. You can't give a handmaid a way out. If you're familiar with the television series the book is based on, it's pretty similar to the book, but our narrator's story ends about halfway through season 1 of the series. In the book, Offred is given to the Waterfords' chauffeur to breed because Mrs. Waterford suspects her husband is infertile. But in Gilead, infertility lies with the fault of the women, not the men. So she sneaks Offred over to the chauffeur to impregnate her. Offred and Nick end up having an unsanctioned affair. The moments they spend together in secret are the only moments that they can pretend they have any freedom. The book ends with Offred telling Nick she believes she's pregnant. Later, she's in her room looking out the shatterproof window when she sees a black van pull up outside the Waterford house. 2 men enter her room, and Nick stands behind them. She's asked to go with them for questioning, and as she follows them out to the van, Nick whispers, "Mayday," to her, and she realizes she's never going to be seen in Gilead again because she's getting out. This story was haunting and seductive in that the narrator gives a look inside a mind determined not to give up, if only to spite the world that she lives in. Her mind being the only thing the world hasn't taken from her, she finds these tiny, heart-wrenching satisfactions in only her thoughts. It's told in first person, which really puts you in the shoes of this person who's essentially a slave. I absolutely recommend it. I love a book that ruins my life while I'm reading it, and this fucked me up good. It was heartbreaking, and it was an agonizing read, and I loved it. And that's it for me. You know where to find me if you have any book suggestions for me, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. And thank you. Estrogen out.